نشکستم هیچ. KHAYYAM has only got around 200 pieces of poem in the short format of quatrain, meaning 4 lines. But in these few number, he represents big inclusive subjects, which this quality over quantity perspective is probably from his scientific background. As before poetry, he was a mathematician and astronomer, having worked with numbers and shapes that we can sense that in this poem. این چرخ فلک که ما در او حیرانیم، فانوس خیال از او مثالی دانیم. خورشید چراغ دان و عالم فانوس، ما چون صوریم کن در او حیرانیم. ما چون صوریم کن در او حیرانیم. So in this poem, which is originally from Persian, but translated by Edward Fitzgerald, he says, "We are no other than a moving row of magic shadow shapes that come and go, run with the sun illumined lantern held in midnight by the master of show." I don't know how much you make connection with this translation, but me myself, when I compared the Persian original version with these English versions, I didn't really feel that they are synced in terms of the chosen words and the meaning, so I translated them myself. For example, in this one, he says that the universe in which we wander, let's consider it like a projector. Sun's the lamp and rest projection. We are like pictures in this matter. So one proportion of KHAYYAM's quatrain are about science. You can sense that scientific background in them, which makes them unique, because usually not all the people have many jobs. They just concentrate in one thing. But this one with a scientific background, there are some groups of scientific poets in which, in this one, he is explaining how this word works by bringing an example. So as he starts at this universe that we are living, and we wonder what's happening and why are we here. Let's consider it like a projector. Actually, instead of projector in the original version, he used a word which is a special, and the word is the imagination lantern. So back then, in the 11th century that KHAYYAM lived, there was no projector invented yet, but people still had the mind to think that what if someday a lantern gets invented that can can project the imagination or imagination. So that's why he uses this word. But thanks God we have the projector, so I use the word projector. So he says the sun is like a lamp of the projector, and the rest is projection. We are like pictures in this movie or picture. So it's a nice explanation for this word. So this stream of science in his poems continues until he wants to express another field, which is agnosticism. But before he enters that group, he confesses that he might not know all the things. So it's better to just stop in this word and not go further. That's special because especially in this region of Islamic area after Islam, usually the scientists were kind of cleric too. They were like a polymath, knowing about all the information and sciences. Religion was an important part, but KHAYYAM was like not like all the other mystics and clerics and scientists. So with this one, we jump to the group that I already mentioned. He said, "Never my passion for science stopped. With that, many secrets got popped. Although I think a lot, days and nights, still it's like as if none been caught." So this is the translation by me myself. So some words and maybe the rhythm is not that perfect comparing to the original version, or maybe even the Edward Fitzgerald version. I'm not that professional still, so forgive me for that. But anyhow, so with this one, he confessed that I try so hard for science, like days and night, but in the end, I'm like, I didn't catch that much. I didn't recover that much. And with this confession or explanation, he enters the phase that is now it is called agnosticism, which says that we don't know about outer world, that what's gonna happen after death, or what's the main reason that we are here. In opposite to the mystical perspective, because they introduce the reason of the creation, which is not for this episode, but we will cover that for sure in the next episodes. He says, even though I am well created, I am well designed, this is better, tall and handsome like James Bond, yet still unknown it is for what I am here around. So in this group of agnosticism poems, he expresses that we don't know why we are here. And with this luck on this word, he starts the other section of his poems, which is all about material, because he introduces jugs as human that are dead before, the jug that you used to drink. این کوزه چو من عاشق زاری بودست، این کوزه چو من عاشق زاری بودست، در بند سر زلف نگاری بودست. گردن یاری بودست. For this section, which we can call it the jog section, he says that this jog, like me, had been a lover in relationship with a girl and loved her. This handle you can see on its neck being his hand around his partner. For now my partner is my guitar, so it's like, so in this poem he introduces the jog that you see, a dead human that loves somebody else, and he resembles the handle on the neck of the jug, the hand of a human. So with these lines he enters into another section which is about living in the present, because as he warns that you're gonna be dead soon and be a jug used by other people to drink, so enjoy your present. Carpe diem. این قافله عمر عجب می گذرد، دریاب دمی که با طرب می گذرد. ساقی غم فردای حریفان چه خوری، پیشار پیاله را که شب می گذرد، پیشار پیاله را که شب می گذرد. He says, how fast our lifetime passes, so let moments go with happiness. Why are you sad about tomorrow? Bring out the cups before night finishes. This one I think is easy to understand. So he's warning how fast our life is passing, and he suggests to pass them with happiness. And shortly in the last line he also brings the next section, which is about drinking, about alcohol, about getting drunk, which is another section of his poems. دریاب که از روح جدا خواهی رفت، در پرده اسرار فنا خواهی رفت. می نوش ندانی ز کجا آمده ای، خوش باش ندانی و کجا خواهی رفت، خوش باش ندانی و کجا خواهی رفت. He says, know that your body lives without soul. Nothing behind curtain compensate your role. Drink to not knowing where you're from, enjoy you not know where you will go. So in this line he straightly suggests you drink and get drunk and be happy, and he denies the soul and the life after death thing. So with that he suggests to drink and get happy, as you don't know where you're from and you don't know where you will go. This is again the agnosticism background here again. And even worse, another section which is somehow funny is defending about the suggestion that he is giving. And for sure, at that time, there were many people, extremist people against him. But he was safe because he was in touch with the king, I guess. And so he had the support of the king of his time. And he was working with other astronomers to design the calendar that we Iranians are using now, which is the most precise calendar in the world, as the beginning of the seasons are aligned with the dates and with the astronomical data. So to mock the extremist religious people, he say, some say heaven is a come true. There will be wine and girls for you. Who cares if we have them already, as they are going to happen there too. This is so much fun. This is fun because he's kind of playing with people against him that talk a lot and say that's not correct to drink wine. That is, in Islam we say that's haram. Last but not least is a section of poems that shows the disappointment and the final point that I want to mention for a conclusion of this episode is that although drinking and being happy is fun for a short time, but that might not work for the long time period. As an example, to analyze the status of this seeing the world perspective, we must consider the person who had written books about KHAYYAM, which is called Sadr Hidayat, who had a great focus on KHAYYAM's poems. And what he did was a couple of suicides in Paris. He's Iranian, he was a student there, and he finally killed himself. So the point is that the Epicurean perspective of KHAYYAM is okay for a short time, you have fun, but how much you want to continue this method? You might want to ask, okay, so if we don't do that, what's the replacement? The replacement there is the perspective of the mystical people like Rumi, which I will make videos about him soon too. So this disappointment is clear in this group of poems. He says, look how far I've gone, none. What's my life withdrawn? None. Happy flame I am, but when blown, none. World Cup I am, but when broken, none. So this famous group of his poems are called none, which at the end of the verses he says none. بنگر ز جهان چتر بربستم هیچ